you a buck and give your dollar a squeezy. The girl's got the answer, you better believe me. Take it from Tara. Take it from Tara. Take it from Tara. Take it from Tara.
Yes, you can take it from Tara on a Monday evening. What a beautiful night. It's the 20th of May at just a moment after 5. And we're so glad to have you all with us tonight on Take It From Tara right here on Crescent Hill Radio, where we support only local and regional artists, one of whom is our musical guest tonight, Janelle Canaday. We're so glad to have you with us, Janelle.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. This show is brought to you by AVC Security for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society Man and Woman of the Year contest, and it's Team Blood, Sweat, and Cheers for Linda Herrick Hillenbrand's campaign. And we are so very excited that AVC is part of our attempt at local radio, because there are so many places that can't make it, and AVC is putting their money where their mouth is. They're Crescent Hillians, Frankfurt Avenue denizens, so we're very grateful for their support of Crescent Hill Radio. As we said, today's musical guest is Janelle Canaday. We're talking to the fundraisers for a special guest who is fighting a rare cardiac sarcoma. She's in the studio with us. That's a heart cancer, by the way, coming up at Bear Nose next Sunday night. Dr. Courtney Bennett is with us on senior animal care, and Derby City Dog Rescue has a precious angel they would like you to adopt and give a forever home. Plus, the incomparable Ed Lewis is in the house. Always an exciting time. Now, first, I want to take just a moment to reach out to Linda Herrick Hillenbrand and to Jim Hillenbrand, her wonderful husband, who's been battling leukemia with her at his side for a number of years. Linda is campaigning, as we said, for the Woman of the Year Award for Leukemia and Lymphoma, and was supposed to be here tonight to talk about our big event this evening at Bluegrass Indoor Karting. A bunch of us who work in media are going to be getting together and racing to raise money for leukemia and lymphoma. However, Linda received word just about 45 minutes ago that her mother is close to death, and so she has gone to be at her side, and as usual, her husband Jim is at her side. And so we will race our go-karts for leukemia lymphoma in all of their honor tonight and help Linda to win her campaign for Woman of the Year. So join us if you'd like out by Sam's Club in the Industrial Park. It's called Bluegrass Indoor Karting. It's going to be a lot of fun. Susan Sweeney Crum and a whole bunch of other wonderful media personalities will be there. I'm going to be racing too. I'm going to go home and put on jeans and boots so I don't roll over a car like I did in one former celebrity race, scratch myself all up. But just thinking about the Hillenbrands tonight and having you send their good thoughts and wishes to them. Janelle, talk to me a little bit about your beautiful fiddle, and you're going to have to talk into that orange microphone there. How long have you been playing this wonderful instrument?
Since I was 4.
4 years old. So that's about 15 years?
28, give or take.
Wow. What drew you to the fiddle?
I really don't remember. I think my mother told me that I saw little children playing on television.
Really?
And was interested. So.
How cute is that? So where can we catch you playing on a regular basis? Do you have a home that you love to play at?
I love to play at my home.
At your home?
No, I
Everybody come over to Janelle Canaday's and we can listen to her.
We can sit on the porch.
Exactly.
I play with a band called Keltricity.
Keltricity.
And in a couple of sessions around town.
I love that. Well, thank you for being our guest tonight. And we'd love to have just a little dose of the beautiful music that you share. Can you give us about a minute or two?
Just a snippet.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you. Janelle Canaday. That's got a sound of the Highlands in it, doesn't it?
Yes, I play a lot of Irish music, and that was the Rolling Wave and the Rambling Pitchfork, two traditional Irish tunes.
Absolutely love it. So we are so grateful to have Janelle Kennedy with us, and we also would like to welcome very, very special guests. Karen and Lisa from the Chopping Block Day Spa and Salon have been friends of ours for years, and actually the Chopping Block came on and talked about wonderful things that they have already done for fundraising, but this is a very special fundraiser because it's actually for you, Lisa, and you're dealing with something called cardiac sarcoma. And I'm going to move this mic just a little closer to you. Thank you, Karen. And you just go ahead and move that green one up towards you, too. Talk to us about this very rare cancer of the heart and what you're going to do and what you are doing to combat it at this time.
Well, like you said, it is very rare. When they discovered that I had it, here, very few people had even heard of it, including the doctors.
That's not a good thing.
No, it was not. So they said, if you can go to MD Anderson in Houston, that's where you need to go because they work on these people like this. So,
and it just so happened that you have some pretty heavy-hitting hair clients at the Chopping Block Day Spa and Salon whose hair you cut.
I do.
Who made an introduction to you to the doctors at MD Anderson.
They did help. That was great.
You can say who that is.
Joanne Patino.
It was Joanne and Rick Patino. Yes, they
That's
have
fantastic.
been wonderful.
That's
Yes.
fantastic. And so MD Anderson is noted for its treatment of not only unusual, but also hard-hitting cancers. Where were you in the process when you actually checked into MD?
At the very, very beginning, I had heart surgery here in Louisville, and they wanted me to heal a little bit from the surgery before they knew that I would have to do chemo. And so literally I called, we called, and they said, we want you here tomorrow, basically.
No
And
messing
they're
around.
usually like a 4-week turnaround.
Wow.
So I did.
And
January 1st.
you guys immediately literally swung into action
Jumped
at the
into
chopping
action.
block
Yes.
because that's what you do. You've been a team forever. I've been getting my hair done there since 1983, if that tells you anything, by various stylists. And you're a family, and Lisa's part of the family. What was your first response?
Well, we were all devastated. It was like somebody said a dark cloud had covered the chopping block.
Yes.
It was like a family member it was really sad. But then we also knew that she was going to need help in Houston.
Yes.
So we kind of all signed up. We start rearranging our books, taking some time off, because after her chemo, she went to, what was it, Lisa? Kind of like a Ronald McDonald house. It was like a little apartment
Yes.
where she had to just recuperate in between her chemo.
Not quite a halfway house, but, you know,
No, but
a half surgery house,
exactly.
maybe.
And so she had to have somebody stay with her all the time, and her family was awesome, but you know, they had jobs and
Exactly.
lives as well.
And thank
So
God she has an extended family of how many
She
people at the
does.
chopping block?
there's about 25,
something,
27.
yes.
Wow, that's incredible.
So a lot of her friends and coworkers kind of took a week. Took as many days
Every
as they
4
could.
days, I had somebody
She
new
had
there.
someone
Isn't
else
that
fly
amazing?
out and stay with her.
What a blessing.
It was wonderful.
Yes.
Then you came up with the idea to have a fundraiser, and Bear Nose by the Bridge is going to help you, except it's actually Bear Nose in the Highlands.
Correct.
Talk to us a little bit about the fundraiser, Karen.
Well, Brian Brunderman and George Timmering, who owns Bear Nose in the Highlands, it's actually
Wonderful people.
They are, and it's their event, and I'm kind of on the committee. But they decided George really wanted to do something to help, and he decided that he would donate 15% of all of his sales, alcohol and food, that
Fantastic.
day on May 26th.
And that's the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend, which is
Correct.
coming up.
Correct. The actual event, we're going to have silent auction, live music, karaoke, some fun things as well. And that part of the Lisa Palooza starts.
Lisa Palooza, that's
6
great.
o'clock.
And I love it. There's a spa package donated by our friend Brad Calabrese at Calo Spa, and we appreciate that very much. A big supporter of Lisa. Wine and spirits themed packages, including limited edition Woodford Reserve Derby and Master Distiller Special Selection bottles, signed and numbered canvas print of the artwork features on the Woodford Reserve Derby bottle, which is really cool, and a VIP tour of the Woodford Reserve Distillery. Brown Foreman made that donation. An artist's custom rendering of your family pet. Boy, I could do 5 of those, right? A 6-week cooking class donated by Cooking at the Cottage, services from the area's hottest salons and stylists, including these guys, a photo session from BG Photography, unique Louisville Cardinals memorabilia. Where did we get that?
Yeah, I wonder.
I wonder. Thank you to Coach Patino and to Mrs. Patino for making those wonderful contributions. And donations are going to be accepted at the door. So that's awesome. And you can give as little or as much as you have. And we would encourage you to go for the much, because I can't even put an imaginative finger on what it has cost so far. Tell us what procedures you've gone through.
Well, I've been through, like I said, I had the open heart surgery in December. And then I started.
So open heart surgery all by itself.
Right.
We're talking tens of thousands of dollars,
Right.
if not 100.
Right. Well, it wasn't quite that bad,
Yeah.
but yes, but it was expensive.
Yes.
And then I've been through 5 chemo treatments. And sometimes people do this. They go back in the hospital with this fever that you get. And I've done that 3 times.
And every time it costs money.
And every time I'm in there for 3 to 4 days. And
And you fly to MD Anderson.
I fly to
every
MD Anderson and I
4 to
stay
6
somewhere.
weeks.
And so it's definitely been
Costly.
a lot of money.
Yes, it has been a lot of money. And what a wonderful group of friends to throw together the idea of raising funds to help to take some of that pressure off, because you've got enough pressure just fighting cancer without worrying
Right.
about the financial ramifications afterwards.
Right.
So I'm very grateful for all of you at the Chopping Block for doing this. And for
you.
Bernos, what a great group of guys.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
know. George is my client too.
Well,
so
that helps too.
Yes.
See, that's what I'm saying. You have some really heavy hitter people. You can also, just by the ease of the internet, go to gofundme.com/Lisa-S. And you can learn more about Lisa Strader's battle with cardiac sarcoma, which is a rare cancer of the heart. And you can also make a donation online. So if you can't make it to the Bernos thing, it's right across from the Bristol in the Highlands. Very easy to find. Sunday, May 26th. That's this coming Sunday, 6 p.m. until whenever the fun stops. Bid on all the silent auction items. Have a lot of fun. Find out more about this incredibly rare heart cancer and what you can do to be aware of it, to spread the word about it, and to raise money. And, you know, I think the best part of this, Karen, I'm going to have you comment it.
Okay.
The name of Lisa Palooza's event is Healing a Generous Heart. And that's probably because Lisa herself is known for having an
A
extraordinary,
very generous heart.
generous heart.
Yes, she does.
And that's
She-
what we want to heal quickly. And we thank you for coming in and showing your support. And thanks, Lisa, because I know you just went through chemo a couple of weeks ago.
Couple of weeks ago.
It must be a tough recovery from going through that.
It is, but you know, I've only got one more to go, hopefully,
Great.
and we'll go from there and see how it goes. So.
Well, and we will go to the party and have a great
Yes,
time. And we're
yes.
looking forward to seeing you at Bernos in the Highlands, right across from the Bristol, on Sunday night, starting at 6 p.m. Come early, bring plenty of money to bid on the silent auction items. Make your donations to benefit Lisa Strader's fundraiser for this incredibly rare heart cancer, cardiac sarcoma. Thanks to Bernos by the Bridge and to the Chopping Block Day Spawn Salon for their sponsorship of Healing a Generous Heart. Lisa Palooza. Thank you, Karen and Lisa, for being with us tonight.
you very
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
having us.
Janelle, give us a happy tune to celebrate Lisa Palooza.
Okay.
Janelle Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen. ABC Security. Sweat and Tears on Facebook, and listen to this for more information. Is absolutely adorable. Ashley is from Derby City Dog Rescue, and she's standing on her hind legs, fighting with all her might to stand up as she's trying to figure out what all these strange instruments and microphones and music stands and people are all about. Jeff Duff joins us from Derby City Dog Rescue. Hello, friend.
Hey, nice to be back.
Oh, we're so glad to have you back, and I love your national championship hat and all your Cardinal attire, celebrating Rick Pitino after his great gesture towards Lisa Strader's fundraising. We appreciate you advertising that.
Fantastic. Well, it's a love of mine, absolutely.
Absolutely. And this little monkey, Ashley, is one of how many?
We took in 7 of
You
them.
took in 7 puppies, about 3 or 4 females and the
Yeah,
rest
3.
males.
I think 3. Yeah, I think 3 male, 4 female. If my memory serves me correctly.
The possibility of reproduction would be great. Were you not such a fantastic dog rescue and you got them all spayed and neutered?
They will be. They're all separated
Yes.
right now. We had to get them healthy, get them clean bill of health. Get everybody groomed up, which we did last week. And they'll be all spayed and neutered probably next week.
What do you think she is? Because she's a little squirmer. She's some sort of terrier, right?
She's a Yorkie.
She's just a Yorkie? Is she purebred?
Pretty sure, but it's hard to say for certain.
So it's amazing that someone would give up a whole litter of purebred Yorkie puppies because they're expensive.
It was a neglect situation that we took them in.
Thank God you took them in.
Yeah.
How many other animals do you have in house right now, and what's your fostering capability, Jeff?
Right now, we have in our rescue about 90 to 95 dogs. Wow. Yeah, and all but 6 are in foster homes. We have 6 in boarding right now that we're looking for fosters for.
You're doing a fantastic job getting fosters.
We try to avoid boarding at all costs, but sometimes situations come up that we just can't control, and we have to have a place for them to go. So all of them are in there right now, and we've placed. I think we've adopted out around 85 dogs this year and taken in about 90, so we're staying around that 90 number.
I am so proud of you. Now tell us about what Derby City Dog Rescue does when they take in a pup. What are the first steps that you do to make sure that puppy is healthy and adoptable?
The very first step is we get them to the vet if they haven't already been, get all their vaccinations, get them healthy.
Can you see her, Kelly? Can you see? She's trying to jump. She wants to get back to Daddy.
Yeah, lots of the dogs we take in are sick and they need help. We take in dogs with broken bones, and we took in a couple last week that had both got hit by a car, and we're taking to Louisville Metro Animal Services. We pulled them both from there, and getting them the help that they need. One needed surgery, the other one's going to need an amputation probably next week. If actually it may have happened today.
Oh man.
Yeah, but we have quite a few, so we get them healthy is the first thing we do, and then we start promoting them. Get them out there on our Facebook page.
You have a huge
website.
Facebook presence and website, is right. And that requires a lot of money, too. So, of course, Derby City Dog Rescue is always looking for wonderful people who want to give a little love in the form of a financial contribution.
Absolutely. We spent about $40,000 in medical care last year for our dogs.
Wow.
And we're probably on pace to take in, adopt out, and move more dogs this year in 2013 than we did 2012. So
that's fantastic.
We work a lot with a lot of northern rescues, and we go to the shelter each week and take pictures of the dogs that need a place to go. And so far this year, we've sent almost 240 dogs up north on transport.
Let's talk about this a little bit, okay? Because a lot of people ask this question: what is it about the north? Why do we have no dogs in shelters up north and lots of dogs in shelters down south?
There are some in shelters up there, but a big portion of it is the spay and neuter laws tend to be a little stricter.
Yes.
In the northern states.
And observed.
Yeah, and so a lot of rescues up there will look to find dogs to place into adoptive homes. From other parts of the country, and fortunately for us here, we're able to work with the shelter down at Louisville Metro on a weekly basis, sometimes multiple times a week, and we temperament test the dogs. We get good pictures of them, talk about their body size, what their temperament is, dog test them, and things like that. Give the northern shelters as much information as we possibly can in order to give them, make sure that they're pulling a good dogs that they're going to be able to place, so they'll continue to come back. And 240 dogs so far this year have gone up north, and we'll probably eclipse over 500.
I'm thinking she might be a little bit thirsty. Do you want some of my water?
She's stressed out. She's only been with us about a week.
How many weeks old are these guys?
She's 4 years old.
Okay. So you took in. You're telling me you took in 7 full-grown neglected animals.
They range from 4 to 7 or 7 to 9 years old, somewhere in that range.
I'm absolutely stunned.
Yeah. Later on this week, we're working with our vet right now to get an estimate. We're going to get them all dentals. The small dogs have bad oral hygiene anyway, so we're going to get them in, get them cleaned up, their teeth wise, get everybody spayed and neutered. We've already got them groomed. One of our partners groomed all of them for us, so they were pretty rough. Tom over at Pretty Paws.
Let's talk. Oh, Tom and Pretty Paws is fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about a major change coming up at Louisville Metro Animal Services.
Yeah.
Because I want to have the opportunity to say thank you publicly to Justin Scally, who has been an absolutely amazing breath of fresh air over the last 2 years, and we are so sorry to be losing him to Louisville, but we are grateful he's going to be closer to his family in Washington, D.C., and he has a great opportunity there.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sad to see Justin go. I feel like we weren't quite done yet, but we've made a lot of improvements and things over there.
Yes, we have.
We're there twice a week at least, and you can tell how much cleaner the place is. Is it where we want it to be? No, it's not. Is any shelter where they want it to be? No, it's not. But I think Justin's done a good job, and I wish he would stick around, but you can't blame him. He got a great opportunity, and we are going to miss him, and we wish his team well and hope that they can find a successor who has the same vision, which is to reach no-kill status as quickly as possible. They had it in a 5-year plan, and he has said to me on a number of occasions that he wanted to shorten that 5-year plan as much as possible to get to a no-kill status for Louisville, and that's something that an active dog, which you are aware of, the fantastic Mark and Marina's beautiful art project of painting shelter animals who have died as a memorial exhibit, which is going to be the Active Dog Museum, hopefully which will stay in Louisville. It's been created in Louisville, hopefully which will stay in the state of Kentucky, but they are big proponents and advocates for the no-kill mission, and that's what we would like to see Louisville be able to achieve too. Absolutely. That's what we work for. That's why we do what we do on a weekly basis, and all the heartache and everything else that you go through. But there's great times, and that's obviously what everybody wants.
You guys are spectacular. Thank you, Jeff, for taking the time to come in, and thank you for bringing Ashley. And
Not a
please
problem.
give all of her sisters and brothers a kiss from Aunt Tara.
Will do.
And we will have you back next month with another special, wonderful, beautiful baby. And this one, who dances on her hind legs beautifully, would like to go home with somebody who is lucky. So you can contact Derby City Dog Rescue on Facebook or go to the website, which is
DerbyCityDogRescue.org.
easy to find. Contact Jeff Duff and his great team at Derby City Dog Rescue. And thank you for all the spectacular work you do in rescuing our babies.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I have to give you back to Ashley now. I'm so sorry. Ashley, I love you, darling. Thank you so much for being with us, Jeff. Really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Janelle, a little animal-themed music, possibly? I know you have that in your repertoire. Actually, just play anything you'd like. Janelle Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen.
I did try to learn a tune called "Pretty Little Dog," but I just didn't quite have it down.
Well, we'll dedicate it to Ashley anyway.
This one's called "The Women of Ireland."
Oh, that sounds beautiful. Janelle Kennedy.
Thank you.
Oh, beautiful. Women of Ireland?
Yes.
Who wrote that?
I don't know. I think it's an old traditional air.
I think it is too. It's gorgeous. Thank you for sharing that with us. Janelle Canaday, beautiful fiddler. And we owe this to Dr. Courtney Bennett, who's a friend of yours, who said, you should really have my friend Janelle come in because she's a wonderful fiddler. Thank you. And Courtney's going to be here too. Ed Lewis is in the house. I haven't seen you in way too long, and it's always a joy.
Time.
I think the last time you were doing La Cage aux Folles at Jewish Community Center in the beautiful theater.
Did 2 runs of that.
Oh,
was
wonderful.
Was it the first one or the second one?
I think it was the second one.
Second one with Rusty Henley.
Rusty Henley was the leading
Right.
man, yes.
And the first one was
Can't remember.
Andy. Yes, and Andy's going to kill me for not remembering his last
A
name.
very handsome guy named Andy, a very talented actor named Andy. How about that?
He was very good.
He was wonderful. Well, Eddie, you have just had a career and a half in Louisville, and I love the fact that it started out with The Connection, where you were the mistress of mayhem long before Hurricane Summers was born, right?
I was the Sasson class.
Yes, you were the
Mr.
Sasson
Eddie D,
class.
yes.
And you
Yeah.
did a fabulous job
Yeah.
introducing all of the acts at the shows at the Connection for years. And you guys have owned this wonderful club and made it the centerpiece of Louisville's dance community and fun.
Well, thank you for saying that. We have had it since 1988. And we
Amazing.
actually had the Downtowner from 1976 until 1988. And I started in the shows there directing in 1978. I
Wow,
did
when you were
that.
10.
Yeah.
Exactly.
10 plus.
What kind of stage experience had you had before you got into directing the shows at the
I was actually a
Downtowner?
vocal major in college. Did opera. That was
Wow.
the big and my love was musical theater. And then when I left DePaul University, that's where I went. I went on the road, and I was a keyboard player because I was a
Fabulous
piano
pianist.
minor.
Yes.
And I played keyboards for a traveling band. We'd move into a hotel on the first of the month, be the house band for a month, and move out at the end of the month.
Incredible.
That was when bands were big in Holiday Inns, Ramada Inns.
Yes.
and
Live music at the Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
Featuring Ed
in the
Lewis on
showroom,
keyboard.
Yes.
Well, and I got the best birthday present of my life last year because we were talking on Facebook, chatting away, and Ed wished me a happy birthday, and I said, sing it to me. And the next thing I know, I have this beautiful video of him at his piano in his gorgeous home singing happy birthday to me. And I cherish that.
Actually,
Thank you.
I played for you. I
You
didn't
played it.
sing
You didn't sing it. That's true.
And
But it
now
was
I
beautiful.
send that to people. You were the reason I put that up.
I
And
loved
now I send
it.
it to people as a birthday card.
Well, thank you. It was a glorious birthday
You're so
gift.
welcome.
You know, in your spare time, you are a fabulous equestrian. Would you like to talk to us about your plans for showing horses this year?
Well, this year I'm not showing.
No?
I have showed previously in Saddlebred.
Because we see you at Rock Creek.
Right.
Yes.
And now I go and support, but I have my horses, and they're actually lesson horses at this time.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of time to devote to it. And it's a very expensive sport.
It is an expensive sport. And you've also been involved in a very expensive sport, which is raising your son,
Yes.
who's getting ready to go to college, which shocks me because I remember you guys carrying him around in a little baby carrier.
Yeah, he's
Julian
big
is a
boy.
man.
Yeah, he's 6'2".
Wow.
He leaves for Rhodes in August.
Incredible.
It's gone by quickly.
And he has a
I'm
girlfriend.
going to start crying.
I know you should. And Kelly's showing the picture of him and you and George with wonderful parents like that. How could a boy go wrong? And he has an adorable little girlfriend he took to the prom, so he was dressed for the prom in that
Yes.
that
Yes, he
picture,
was.
which I love. And you also are extraordinary entrepreneurs. Tell me about the Village. Tell us about this whole concept that you've got going downtown.
The Village is 4 acres at Floyd, East Breckenridge, and Brook Street. And what we're doing is we're putting in restaurants. We have a guest house. We have a men's health spa. Eventually, we're hoping to move the Connection there and make it a little village similar, but not as large as Westport Village.
Oh, wonderful.
And
What a great concept.
yeah, we're excited. We're a little nervous, but excited also.
Everybody's nervous, but you know the economy is picking up. Sales are going well. It seems like, yeah. Let's all knock on wood,
Knock on lots
wherever
of
that
wood.
wood comes from. But you know, it sounds like it's going to be a great concept, and that village concept is so popular nationwide, really all around the world, because it kind of started in Europe, didn't it?
I believe it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also in Mexico they have the
Yes,
piazzas.
yes.
there, you know,
Wonderful.
A whole little village around a square, but that area is going to boom. eventually.
Yes, it will.
It's a wee bit of a depressed area.
Yes.
But I think it'll take off. And
Well, it's kind of
be
like Gil
wonderful.
Holland is building the Artists Enclave
Right.
in Portland, which is, dying in
Right.
so
They
many
have been
ways.
so instrumental.
Yes.
In the East Market.
Yep, Nulu.
And in Dulu, right?
Absolutely.
And I think they'll do great in Portland.
I think so too. All right. So the last thing I want to ask you is, what is the next show you're coming up in that I can go see you in? Because I love seeing you on stage. You just bring such exuberance and such life to every role.
I will let you know. There's currently nothing in the works, but I did some things with Pandora too. One
Oh,
of
they're
my
fun.
Favorite roles was Mr. Charles, currently of South Beach.
Yes.
He's a character. I mean, he's kind of like Zaza Albin.
Yes.
But a little more a combination of Paul Lynde and Charles Nelson Riley. It was so fun to play.
That is amazing.
And not have to sing.
Yeah,
It
well,
was
there you go. But
wonderful.
you have a wonderful singing voice, so you can do any of those roles too. Tell us this. What's the plan for the summer? Are you traveling? Because I know you guys take off and do a lot of fun things.
We are headed to Memphis, Rhodes College.
Wow.
In order to prepare.
And
So-
this is, what is Julian thinking of majoring in, if you don't mind me asking?
Business and marketing. He wants to
Chips
take
off the old
over-
block, right?
Yeah, he wants to take over family business.
The family
Yeah.
business. I love that.
And the
Fantastic.
Marketplace restaurant. He's actually working there.
Good for him,
Yeah,
learning
during
the
the
business
summer
from the ground
until
up.
we leave. Right.
I'm assuming.
Well, yeah.
So you made him
I
bust
don't
tables,
think that
right?
ground part will last longer than 20 minutes.
Hey, we've all done it. We've all bussed. We've all waited. We've all bar backed. We've all tended bar. We've all, done everything in restaurants at some point in our lives.
Best way to learn.
It's the greatest learning experience ever.
It is.
So I hope he forgives us for talking about him. But, having watched him grow up with two such fantastic parents, three fantastic parents, 5, 10, 15,
Lots.
everybody considers him their
It
son.
definitely takes a village.
Kay Matan considers him her son.
Matan,
For
yes.
God's sake, Kay Matan, the great aunt of every child in Louisville. And we just wish you guys the best with all of the new business ventures, with the personal ventures, with your acting, with your horseback riding, with your son going to college. And
Thank
please
you.
give everyone my
and
best
I look forward
regards.
to your next birthday.
Thank you. I look forward to it too, because you will have to sing that time.
I'll sing the next
Would you
time,
do that,
yes, I
Eddie
will,
Lewis?
I
Thank you
will.
so much for taking time to be with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate you very much, Janelle. I'm going to thank somebody really, really special, and then I want you to play something else. Amy Bach of Bach Creative Services jumped on as a sponsor of Take It From Tara, and is fantastic because she didn't want to promote Bach Creative Services. She wanted to promote the Kentucky Animal Relief Fund, and this is an organization that helps to take care of senior animals until their dying day, cares for unadopted seniors for the rest of their lives with dignity and compassion. And we really love our Kentucky Animal Relief Fund, and that's why I'd like you to hear more about the KARF. But Kelly has a confused look on her face. Here it is, KARF, thanks to Amy Bach of Bach Creative Services. All senior dogs are worthy of life and love. Kentucky Animal Relief Fund rescues and cares for homeless senior dogs who are often left to face illness, loneliness, confusion, and eventual death at the most vulnerable time in their lives. All dogs rescued by KARF receive significant veterinary care to maximize their quality of life and to place every reasonably healthy adoptable dog in a permanent loving home. Unadopted dogs remain in the care of Kentucky Animal Relief Fund for the remainder of their lives. Contributions at KentuckyAnimalRelief.org or Facebook. Sponsored by Amy Bach of Bach Creative Services. Sorry, I'm choking to death. Thank you for not turning on that mic until I finish choking, Kelly. Thanks so much to Amy Bach for Bach Creative Services sponsorship of Kentucky Animal Relief Fund, which again focuses on the adoption of senior dogs and cares for the unadopted ones for the rest of their lives. We appreciate them so very much. And Janelle Canaday, I'm going to give you a whole 3 or 4 minutes because you've been playing snippets. I would love you to play an entire tune for me. Do you have one in you?
Yes.
What would you like to play?
I think I'll play Wayfaring Stranger, which is a song I have heard a million times growing up all my life, and so it's something that I love and connect with the traveling aspect.
I love that. Are you going to sing too?
I'm going to try to sing on this
All right.
one.
Is that orange microphone close enough to you for that?
I think so. Is it good about like this?
Yeah, there we go. Good. Perfect. Wayfaring Stranger, Janelle Canaday.
this world of woe, but there's no sickness, toil, or danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my Father. He said he'd meet me when I come. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. Dark and steep, Elysian fields lie just before me, where the released their vigils keep. I'm going there to see my mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. While traveling through this world of woe, but there's no sickness, toil, or danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home.
Just lovely. Wayfaring Stranger, Janelle Kennedy. Yes, a big round of applause from the two people in the studio who you can hear clapping.
It's a great crowd.
Oh, that's beautiful. And, you know, this is why Crescent Hill Radio supports only local and regional musicians, because we have such a pool of talent in this area, and they have a really hard time getting airplay, except here. You know what I'm saying? So, Courtney Bennett, I really appreciate you introducing me to Janelle. And Janelle, I really appreciate you taking the evening to come in and be with us. I'm going to give you one more performance opportunity, okay?
Okay.
Be thinking about what you want to play. And Kelly, I tell you what, is the puppy still here? Or is the puppy has gone home?
She was in my lap for a little while.
Yeah, I saw you out there snuggling her. And being a hospice veterinarian, it's second nature for you to have a puppy in your lap. And you have had many puppies and kittens in your life, and you are very good at helping people, especially with those tough transitional times as our pets age.
Yeah.
As they move towards the Rainbow Bridge, and sometimes to the extent of helping them over, which is probably the toughest thing any of us live through, besides the death of our family members. The death of our pets, and many are family members, is a very tough thing. So, Dr. Courtney Bennett, glad to have you with us. Let's talk a little bit about signs to watch for with older cats and dogs, especially, about exhibiting pain, the possibility of them not exhibiting pain because they're hiding it, and how we can intervene early to help prevent them from suffering.
Yeah, I mean, you said the key word, early.
Yeah.
Often when I get calls throughout the past decade or so, I always wish I would have talked to this family member sooner. But animals are really good at hiding things.
They are.
Especially cats. Dogs are a little bit more sensitive, and they'll show you, but they're so much better that, I think about dental pain all the time in animals, and I'm like, oh, I've had 3 root canals. I'm a baby. My cattle dog busted his tooth up and wanted a treat. And he was like, whatever, I'm
Isn't
fine.
that funny?
So they're pretty incredible, and I think it's difficult to watch the signs, and especially when you've had a pet for 10, 12, 16, 17 years, and you see them every day. And so you don't catch things when you're not away for them for a while and you come home. And so sometimes it's just not greeting you at the door as readily as they used to, or not jumping on the bed, or going for walks the same. And sometimes I've had families say, well, it was just hot, or they didn't hear me when I came home. And so I just encourage people to be aware of some of the symptoms. And if you're unsure, call. It's always worth a good conversation, discussing what's going on, and then a good physical to say, are we in pain? Are we not?
Sometimes it's hard to face the reality, too. Sometimes the land of denial is a lot better.
Yeah, and I've been there myself.
Yes.
I wish I could stand here and say, oh, I never do that.
Yes.
But, it's true.
Sure.
And I think that if we catch things early, we can implement modalities of care that don't necessarily have to be drugs every day.
Sure.
I mean, we can do weight loss, which is fun. It makes such a difference. And it's hard, believe me. I know I've had a lot of fat animals. It's tough. But weight loss, different exercise programs for families to start their pets on, not so much for cats.
Sure.
But supplements, acupuncture, laser. There's a lot that doesn't have to be always just jumping to medication. Unfortunately, a lot of times when animals are when the symptoms are first noted in these animals, we're at the point where we really need drugs.
I need to ask my friend Colby Helton at Meridian Acupuncture and Herbal Medicine if he does acupuncture on animals, because he really helps me a lot.
There is a phenomenal acupuncture veterinarian here in Louisville that is mobile, and I've only heard great things. I've met her, and I would highly recommend her.
What is her name?
Her name is Dr. Karen Lanz, Lanz.
Yeah. I absolutely love that. A mobile acupuncture veterinarian. That's fantastic.
And there are just options in clinics too, and I think that often what happens, especially at end stage, where it's just really difficult to get an animal in.
Yes.
And I think that that's when it helps to have people come to you. And cats, they're a lot trickier. They really are. You don't take your cat for a walk most of the time, and I think
some of us do. I remember my cats were leash trained, and we used to go up to the tennis courts and just walk them on the leashes to practice.
I bet people loved that.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Sometimes we took them to Feeder Supply too.
Yeah, we have a cat who used to walk with us, but not on a leash. If we put a leash on him, he would just go, what's happening? But he would walk just on that little back alleyway, and he was just kind of like, yeah, I'm part of the family. I'm going.
Did he walk with the dogs?
He walked with the dogs.
Wow.
He was one with the pack.
Love that.
He was one with the pack.
We've talked about a support network to help us through the time when, we and our pets need it the most, and that is when they're failing and when we see either a disease taking its toll or a series of injuries. I will never forget when Emma was injured and she had her 2 shattered back legs and she was starting to get stronger. She would lie on the bed, and when somebody would walk by her, she'd just lift her little paw up in the air like, look, I'm hurt. And it was so precious, but it was so hard to watch because she really was reaching out to us, trying to get us to acknowledge what she was going through. So when you're at that point and you're dealing with the agony of letting an animal go, as you do with the grief and loss of a human friend or family member, what kind of support network can we reach out to, Courtney?
Well, obviously, friends and family. I mean, and most of us who are animal lovers have friends and family members that are kindred spirit. They
Absolutely.
understand. And also your veterinarians and veterinary technicians that may be able to come to your home or just talk with you, mobile groomers, and having a possible counselor or support network of people who specialize in being able to talk about things such as pre-anticipatory grief, getting up to the point where you're going to have to say goodbye.
Yes.
Can sometimes be harder for certain people than once you have to say goodbye. And often I have families tell me that they feel such a relief
Yes.
when they've made the decision because it was such a struggle, because it's the hardest thing we ever do.
Absolutely.
But calling upon your support networks and having people there means so much. And you should get creative, call out to friends, family, like I said, veterinarians, and see what people can do to help you and answer questions. And I never think there's a silly question. If there's something bothering a family member, I think they should bring it up. Even if it's silly about, what to do to help them go to the potty better.
Sure.
These are basic things we need to take care of.
Well, and more people are adopting animals with disabilities, and sometimes they don't have the support of their back legs, and they have to be lifted and carried out to go to the bathroom. And these are becoming really normal things for families. Yes. Let's talk a little bit about something on that line, and that's home modifications that might be made to assist an elderly animal who needs to get out a little bit more frequently. What can we do?
When I make these suggestions, people are always like, oh, that just seems so simple. But when you're in the midst of being worried and caregiving, you don't think of simple things. So simply placing down a runner throughout the house, and maybe you don't have to go and spend a lot of money, go and get a little nice rubber back, stable, long, thin runner so that your pet can get up from their bed and go outside easier.
Get traction, not slip and slide on hardwood floors.
And especially placing them where the food and water bowls are.
Yes.
And sometimes the food and water bowls need to be elevated to make it easier for the animals to eat. Ramps. I mean, I can't tell you the number of times I will see dogs going up and down stairs, and I think, we need to talk about that. But you don't realize because you're seeing it every day, and they're, they're just a little bit slower on the stairs.
Yeah.
But you don't have to get a special ramp. You can get a nice piece of plywood, put some coating on it, plus or minus some outdoor carpet, just to make it easier. And there's also really good harnesses and
they're like body harnesses like we used to teach Emma to walk again after her surgery. Yeah. So the one goes around the back legs and one around the chest.
And there's probably more than several brands now. Help 'em Up harness is one I really like.
Help 'em Up, I like
Help 'em Up harness. And there is a little kind of cushioned harness that you can use just on the back end. And my favorite's been Ginger Lead. It's just made really well, and I think it's easier. They make them adjustable for the height, so you're not trying to walk your dog bent over.
That's awesome.
It's inconvenient for both of you. But little things like that can make a big difference, and sometimes we forget to make it easier on ourselves.
Well, and the reason that we're talking about all of this, obviously, is because Dr. Courtney Bennett is a hospice veterinarian, and one of the things that you actually do is work with people to plan for end of life with their pets before maybe the day that they need to make the call to say, come and help us help this dog or cat transition.
Right.
And those preparations are very important. When do you like to be in touch with a client to start discussing these preparations? Kind of like making our own funeral plans in advance to take the pressure off, right?
Well, and I think it depends on the family and the situation. One of the things that I think is really important that I'd like to see happen in veterinary medicine is to have there be more than just two options.
Yes.
In an emergency or when your animal has been abruptly diagnosed acutely with terminal cancer, where the options don't have to be hospitalization, aggressive therapy, or euthanasia, where there's going to be the third option of let's make sure they're as comfortable as they can be, but still be with you and not have the owners feel bad that they're not doing the aggressive treatments. And every case is different, and aggressive treatments may or may not be the best for each family. And excuse me, and I think that communication makes a big difference.
Yes,
so
it does.
I encourage people to call or email me, their own veterinarians, whoever their support network is, and just talk about it. And some things that we have to think about are how do we, a big question is, when do I know when?
Yes.
And there isn't a perfect answer.
But that's such a hard question to answer, too. I mean, I know people who've been carrying their dogs in and out to go to the bathroom for 2 and 3 years, and they're 60 and 70-pound dogs, and it's killing them, and they can't let them go.
Right. And fortunately for that animal, they have a family that can do what they need, which, and that's a big decision to decide how much can you do financially, emotionally. It's a lot to take on. And I never want anyone to feel bad about what they do or do not do.
Yes.
But planning for the very end, if you have an animal that is not eating, not walking, you've had a terminal illness, but you're not sure when, talking about it can make a big difference.
Huge difference.
Where do we want to do this at? How does it happen? You'd be surprised at the number of people I meet that are older that have never been through loss of an animal, of a family member.
Wow.
We're all living longer, which
Yes,
is great.
yes.
But it doesn't prepare us
No.
for what to go through. And some people have wanted to read poems during just prior to the euthanasia or just after or over the burial site.
Yes.
Doing things where you have photos out, lighting candles, playing music. I mean, anything
Ritual.
that is special. Yeah, ritual, exactly.
Ceremony. I mean, it's what we associate with birth and death and marriage and everything else.
Yeah, and it can really help, I think, for us to heal as we go through the grieving process.
Absolutely.
To figure out what is best for us, and it doesn't have to be the same thing for everyone, and it probably won't be.
It definitely will not be. And I remember when we first met, Courtney, we were at a Bark in the Park.
Yeah.
And Courtney she's just come here from Philadelphia this last year, and
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Don't want to confuse those two, do we? No. And has made really thousands of friends. And I'm so glad that you have chosen to stay here with us and have really set down roots. And you're actually a mobile veterinarian yourself.
Yeah.
You go to your clients.
Yes, I come to you.
That's awesome.
It makes such a difference to be able to come into the home because
Yes.
you can see the animal in their own environment and also assess to see what's going on, what the family members are doing or not doing. I have met with people where there might be two people on one side and one person on the other, and maybe everybody doesn't agree.
Yes.
But we kind of sit down and talk about it, and it works out that we can kind of see where everyone else is coming from and come up with a good solution.
What I also like, and I'm going to just talk money for a minute because it's important. People are going to say, well, what does it cost to have a veterinarian who's a hospice specialist? You handle things in a little bit different way. Instead of charging for a call, like when we go to the vet, we pay a bill. Every time we walk out, we chunk over the money. You do things a little differently in that you have an upfront payment and it covers the entire transitional period of the care.
It does. It does cover it unless we have some changes, and
Sure.
then we kind of have to decide.
Adjust.
Yeah, adjust. But there isn't a. Not to say anything negative about lawyers, but there's when you call a lawyer, you're usually on the clock.
Billed on the hourly rate,
It's
exactly.
how many minutes have we been on the phone typically? Which, we all have to do. That's that way businesses work. But after the initial consult, we then have email follow-up and text messages. I mean, this is the world we live in.
That's
I get
right.
a lot of, and it's easier sometimes to text and to email than to call
Yes.
when you're feeling really emotional.
Yes, exactly. But that's a great way to handle it because it gives people a chance to plan for it,
Yeah.
budget for it, and know what they're dealing with and know what their timeline is going to be as well.
Right.
Thanks for the expert advice. Heart's Ease Veterinary is on the web, on Facebook,
Yes.
and actually advertising on several media outlets through town, including Crescent Hill Radio. So we appreciate Dr. Courtney Bennett for her continued support of Take It From Tara via Crescent Hill Radio. Thanks for being with us. Will you come back in a month or two and
Always.
update us on progress? Love that
Thank
very
you,
much.
Tara.
Thank you so much. And we want to thank Eternal Health Yoga for providing wonderful yoga services to the community and for their support of Crescent Hill Radio as well, right on Frankfurt Avenue. Eternal Health Yoga at 3410 Frankfurt Avenue in Louisville's Crescent Hill is dedicated to sharing the joyful benefits of yoga with you. Teacher training 200-hour program is all levels welcome. EternalHealthYoga.com online and on Facebook, 502-424-3164. Celebrating 7 years of serving the Louisville, Southern Indiana community. I love my Eternal Health Yoga. It gets my day off to a great start, and you can join too on Frankfurt Avenue. And Janelle Kennedy, what are we playing for our final installation of Janelle Kennedy's hit parade?
I think I'll do a set of tunes. It starts with The White Petticoat. And the middle one, I actually can't remember the name, but it's French-Canadian.
I love it.
And the last one, if we get there, is Frank's. But feel free to let me know if we're...
Excellent.
we
Well, as
need to
long
cut
as you
off a
don't go
little
past 6,
earlier.
I think we'll be okay.
Oh, yeah, we should be totally
Janelle
fine.
Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Canada. What a beautiful song. Thank you so much for being our musical guest. And thanks to all of our guests, Dr. Courtney Bennett, Ed Lewis, Karen, and the Chopping Block Day Spa and Salon for Lisa's wonderful cardiac sarcoma fundraiser at Bearnose this Sunday at 6 p.m. Derby City Dog Rescues Jeff Duff and Ashley, that beautiful puppy. And wonderful musical guest, Janelle Kennedy. Thanks again. Next Monday, Memorial Day on Take From Tara, we have a special show lined up for you, and we're going to keep it a secret because it is going to be celebrating the holiday weekend. So tune in from 5 to 6 to see what we have in store for you. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next Monday right here on Crescent Hill Radio on Take It From Tara. Jingle. That's okay. We always play jingles at the end of our show. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.